We are live. Good morning, EXSIN Live, Dave and Phil. Hey, you know what I realized? It is the 5th of October, and there are sales managers and business owners freaking out.
Panicking.
Because they looked at their numbers over the last few days, and they aren't going to reach their annual goals, and they're trying to step on the accelerator for sales.
Yeah, and one of the big challenges I think people, or mistakes I should say, that people make is they do what you just described. They wait till the fourth quarter. You know, you need to be evaluating these things. We love a process where you're evaluating your sales objectives, your sales outcomes every 12 weeks, and where you're doing checkups weekly, and you really are staying in tune with what's going on. That way, if there are market adjustments that need to be made, or activity adjustments, or you know, if you've gotten it wrong in some way, you can make adjustments in February and not wait till October and wake up and go, wait, what just happened?
That's a fact. But we're beyond that. We're beyond that. Today, we're going to talk about how to re-accelerate, get the pipeline back where it needs to be so you can finish out strong and start the year even stronger.
Yeah.
Because we can't, you know, what's done is done. We talk about periodization. If you start in January with that program, you're going to do great.
Yep. And
you're going to check it every month. You're going to know exactly where. Well, many of you are sitting there right now going, oh, crap. I got X million dollars of deals sitting out there, and I don't know if they're going to close or not. If they don't, it's going to be a tough year.
Yeah, and that's the vicious animal that is sales. And listen, in sales, it's true. This is true in everything. You got to focus on the things you impact, that you can directly impact, and you got to pay attention to those activities. But the reality is in business, and it's even more magnified, I think, in sales, because in most organizations, Dave, that's the thing that everybody really looks at. You know, even if they're just glancing at it, they're looking at it every day.
That revenue.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, they should be.
And so bottom line is in sales, there's things you don't control, right? I mean, one of the challenges in the fourth quarter is what else is in the fourth quarter? All these holidays.
Christmas, Thanksgiving,
you know, and
fall break.
Not a lot of stuff happens in November and December.
OU, Texas.
Yeah, well, we might want to skip that one this year if you're an OU fan. But
it could be a miracle.
It could be
in Dallas.
Yeah. But sales is that thing that you've got to really, to your point, if you find yourself in that situation, you need to take action now. Fourth quarter started a few days ago, and you know it's all hands on deck to try to close those deals that have been hanging around.
So let's go back to this. And this is the other thing: you get through the year, you get away from basics.
Yeah.
So let's talk about basics. So if you don't have a top 60 list, you got to get that cleaned up. Today. If you don't have a sales call planner you're using every week and every day, you need to have that. If you're the sales manager, you need to make sure you look at this stuff and make sure it's there and it's being done. If you don't have a discovery process, if you're pitching features and benefits, you might have I feel like I'm gonna be Jeff Foxworthy now.
You might be a redneck.
you might have bad sales numbers. We won't call you a redneck. You might have bad sales numbers, and the reason is because you've been hoping and praying.
Well, and the other one is the pre-call planner.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, there's just, listen, I'm going to sound like the old guy. Okay,
well, we are old guys,
but that's okay.
We're like the two guys in the Muppets that sat.
We are. Yeah. I'm just waiting to start wearing socks with black socks pulled to my knees while I do my yard work, yelling, stay off my lawn any day now. But
you don't already do that?
No. Well, not where everybody sees it.
Tube socks?
Yeah, tube socks. But no, what I was going to say is this. Everywhere you look, there are sales experts. Everywhere you look, there's sales gurus. Everywhere you look, there's these people that have these flashy digital platforms and all this stuff.
With audiences behind their pictures, and they have the show lights on, and they're telling you how you're going to be the next millionaire using their sales process.
And I'm just telling you right now, I'm not saying there's not some helpful stuff inside all of those. I think there's always something you can learn from other people. But if you're not doing the basics, if you're not identifying through a ideal client avatar who your ideal client is, if you're not pre-planning your week,
market survey,
if you're not doing market surveys, if you're not running what we call the cultivation loop to keep your pipeline moving in the right direction, if you're not doing these basic things and you're in outside sales, you're losing. And you can spend all the money you want on, $19.99. That seems to be the price a lot of these things want. $19.99 or $29.99 or $39.99 or $59.99 or whatever it is. You can keep spending that money, but your sales aren't going to go up.
Well,
and Dave, let me just say this. I think there's a real challenge that people have today. And again, I want to be clear about this. We're not saying that there's not good programs out there. There are. But if they're telling you crazy things like you don't have to ever leave your office to sell $1 million worth of X, you don't have to. Now, are there industries you can do that in? I'm sure there are. I'm sure there's transactional things you can do, leveraging technology. We're talking about people working for businesses that are going out, working in industries like HVAC, like oil field sales, technology sales, insurance sales, investment sales. People still buy from people they know, like, and trust. I know that's not sexy. I know that's not what anybody wants to talk about anymore, Dave, but that is still what they do. I mean, when it comes to big ticket, we have a client that they sell, their deals are $1 million transactions, all of them, right? Big ticket items. Well, if you think you're going to sell a big ticket item by sending a few emails and putting somebody in a sales funnel, I saw something last night. Sales funnels are dead, Dave. We've moved on to something new.
We're renaming it,
but they're dead. They're dead. Well, so we're going to do something else. I mean, it still comes down to the fundamental truths of you got to plan your days, you got to plan your weeks, you got to plan your months, you got to work the system, you got to work your process, and you got to go develop relationships with other human beings.
You have to be consistent. And here's the caution. I want to get very cautious about the big, flashy internet guys that are invited to their 2-day conference. You're going to go to that conference. You're going to get a lot of good information because they're going to give you good. They're going to give you the same stuff we talk about.
Nothing original.
Yeah, absolutely.
Going to be packaged differently.
You're going to be pumped up and you're doing rah, and then you're going to get home and you're not going to do anything in the first 48 hours when you get home. And there's going to be no follow-up with your team, and it's going to be a great conference, but you're not going to get any value out of it. When we talk about the fundamentals of selling, if you're the sales manager, you're the owner, you need to make sure your team's blocking and tackling.
Bottom line.
You need to put your face mask in the numbers and roll your hips and go through them. And that is market survey. What is your pipe? Do you have a top 60? How's your cultivation loop? Where are you on your sales call planner?
Who's your ideal client?
Who's your ideal? Are you talking to the right people? Are you asking for a referral even when people tell you no? Are you going through those sales steps? And are you consistently pushing your sales team to answer those questions at the weekly sales meeting?
Yeah, and again, we believe in technology.
100%.
We believe in all this stuff. We just know that. I mean, listen, I was looking at. I'm trying to get caught up with everybody, so I'm looking at these affiliate programs, right? Just seeing what's out there. One of the number one affiliates, as far as number of people that join it, is Tony Robbins.
Yep.
Okay. Right on this independent assessment of top affiliate, it says pros and cons. It lists all these pros. The con says there's only one Tony Robbins. I mean, are there exceptions? There's exceptions to every rule out there. But most of us, like I tell people all the time, none of us are special.
None of us are special.
Tony Robbins, at some point in his life, before he was Tony Robbins, was doing the things we're talking about to build who he is.
And he has a team that does that today, day in and day. I mean, his team is calling and talking to people every day.
Dave Ramsey has huge teams.
Absolutely. They are surrounded by experts that are doing the blocking and tackling every day. And if, as a business owner, and please hear this, if you don't know what the fundamentals are you should be doing, ask.
Yeah.
If you're missing something, you're not sure, don't be afraid to raise your hand and go, hey, I don't understand what you're talking about.
Right.
Ask for help. Go to your buddies that have a store, or your girlfriends, whoever. Go to somebody else that's running a business and go, hey, I'm having trouble with this. How are you solving this problem?
Because I think what the main point I think we're trying to make is everybody's got essentially the same stuff, right?
The sales process is a sales process.
That's not the magic.
No.
You can package it in a pretty way, which is fine. We package stuff.
Yeah.
It's fine. But what we're talking about is once all that's done, it's like when you get married. I remember when Tanya and I got married 35 years ago.
I feel like I need to put some Luther Vandross right now.
Yeah, I know. When we got married, I remember sitting there thinking, well, man, I'm never going to have an argument. We're always going to know what's going on. Everything's going to be good. This young, naive kid.
How'd that work for you?
It didn't because she married me. But my point is that's when the work begins. Yeah. You know, when you get once you're armed with, okay, these are the things I need to do. Now, how are you going to go do it? Most people do not have the discipline to get up every day and go do it. There's very few things in this world that we don't know what we need to do to get the outcome we want. Does that make sense? We know.
Your question is, are you willing to put in the work?
That's my whole deal.
Yeah.
If you're not executing on it, and in today's world where there's so many solo entrepreneurs and there's so many, freelancers that are doing good work. They're doing good work.
And they're good people.
And they're good people. Those small agencies, these small, whether it's a 3-person insurance agency in southeastern Kansas, or it's a 2-person marketing agency in Oklahoma City, or it's a small real estate brokerage firm in Dallas. It doesn't matter. These people are doing good work, good, honest work, and they're doing a good job. But the key is they're getting up and they're going and doing the work
every day, consistency.
And what Dave and I have found over the years is a lot of these people, what they don't have is they don't have that person, those people that can help them stay on track. So when you do these programs, you got to have follow-up coaching. You got to have follow-up accountability. You got to have, call it whatever you want, follow-up consulting, follow-up mentorship. But you got to have some way to make sure you're doing the X's and O's, the simple things every day to make sure that you're going to reach your goal. And you got to be constantly moving the needle. And you can't get stagnant. We were on a call yesterday with some clients, and it's just, the water that can be coming out of a desert saying we're thirsty. We got to hurry up and go get some water. And there could be 50 jugs of water sitting next to them. They won't even see it.
Well, the other thing is, as a sales leader or the owner of your company, you have to know the nuances of each of your salespeople.
Yes.
Because some are going to have challenges doing certain things, while others are going to have challenges doing other things. And you've got to be attuned enough to what's going on to help them work through those challenges. Every salesperson has call reluctance of some sort.
100%.
Every one of them. And that's okay as long as you know what their call reluctance is and you help them work through that. We are human beings. We are not perfect. We're not machines. We're going to struggle with things. And if you as a sales leader can't identify those challenges you're having and how to push them through those challenging, then you need to ask for help.
Yep. 100% of the time. And I think, one of the toughest things you can do in any walk of life is to admit where you're not, where you struggle.
Oh, it's hard to say where you suck.
It's hard. Really it's hard. But the day you start doing that and you start taking steps to fix it, everything's going to get better.
Yep.
I've never met anybody. I mean, listen, life's not fair. Can we all agree on that? There's going to be things that happen. There's going to be things that come up. There's going to be challenges that come up.
This is news to me.
Yeah, I know. I'm sorry, Dave. Dave lives in a bubble.
I did not know.
Dave lives in a bubble. Captain America bubble.
I did not know.
But there's these things that happen. And if you don't have a consistent process to follow to where you can set your feet and say, okay, this is stable always. And those are the things we're talking about with the market survey, the ideal client avatar, the pre-call planners, the daily plan. I mean, these are the things that are going to allow you to withstand those tough times. It doesn't have to be, what we have, I'm trying to remember, somebody told us not too long ago, I'm looking for the magic pill.
Oh yeah.
Damn, man, when you find it, let me know.
But that's unfortunately, we've bred that in our culture in America over the last 40 years. I mean, everybody wants a pill to be skinny. Everybody wants a pill to be good looking. Everyone wants a pill to have hair, except for you, because you love your hair.
I love my hair.
Everybody wants a pill to make $1 million in sales every day.
Yeah.
But the reality is, if you study this and you work in the space and owning a business, it is day in, day out doing the work.
That's the magic. That is the magic pill.
That is the magic pill. But the scary thing is, I hear owners of business saying, well, I don't have time to work on that. Well, if you don't have time to work on that, then you need to, we work with a client for a couple of years who is probably the most amazing online promoter of their company and getting people in there. And that's her sales funnel.
No doubt.
And when she needs to beef up sales, she does it. Now, if she would do it consistently,
be crazy.
It would be crazy how much she sold and her business does very well now.
Yeah.
But it would be crazy how much she could do. Find your place where you can reach your ideal client, you can connect, and they're going to want to purchase from you. And when you find that place, hammer it every day day in, day out with your team and make sure there's people coming in the door?
Yeah, because I mean, sales got, and this is the thing that I would kind of, I don't know what else you've got you want to go through, but what I would say is this: when it comes to sales, remember that it's, and this sounds corny, you know, it's not a sprint, it is a marathon. But when you're running that long distance race, there's races within races. If you talk to endurance runners, there's races within the race. And that's really what sales is, right? I mean, you're going to have success along the way.
Yep.
I'm not saying you gotta starve to death. You can't have any. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is that it takes some time to build momentum. It doesn't take a long time, but it takes some time. And I think people get bored with that, and they think, well, there's got to be an easier way.
They get scared.
Sometimes there's just not easier ways. Yep. Sometimes it's just and this isn't drudgery. I mean, you know, selling can be I think it's the most enjoyable, fun activity that you can do in business, because you're out interacting with people, and if you're approaching it in the right way, you're learning from those people, and you're having great, interesting conversations, and you're helping people solve problems, and and along the way you're getting paid very well. You're making a lot of money, and so it's a fabulous career and a fabulous profession. But I think the challenge we've got is we're looking for the easy button for everything that we do in life, and some things require.
But the easy button is
application. No, not at all.
The easy button is consistency.
Yeah, it is. Step
in and do it every day, and it's gonna.
That is the easy button.
It's called the compound effect. If you ever read the book, it talks about it at length what this means. Yep. But you know, that's the big thing for you. If you're a sales leader or you're a business owner, you're behind right now, be consistent. Be consistent. If you're in the fourth quarter, you find yourself needing, it's going to be tough. We're not going to sit up here and sell you rainbows and unicorns. If you're in the fourth quarter, it's tough. Doesn't mean you can't go do it. And I promise, if you start doing these things we're talking about now, you will close some deals in the fourth quarter. And look at it this way: you're going to need great deals to close in the first quarter of next year. So you can start off next year in a great way too. So don't, it's much like if you start working out and then you stumble for a couple days, stop it at 2 days, get back in the gym. Yeah. Or if you're trying to eat more healthy and you stumble one night late at night and eat an entire bag of potato chips. I don't know anybody who might have done that last night, but if you do that, were you at my house?
Yeah, but if you do that, then stop it. You can get back on track right away. Just stop it. To quote the great philosopher Bob Newhart, stop it. So yeah, half the people listening don't even know who Bob Newhart is.
No, they'll look it up. Look up Bob Newhart. Stop it. Hey, with that, get your sales on track. You got this. Consistency. Dave and Phil, EXSIN Live. We are out of here.